This portion of New Day Northwest is sponsored by WGU Washington.
Kids and teens aren't the only people headed back to school. Many parents and other working adults are looking to achieve their college degrees or change careers. Here with great options for adults on tight schedules with tight budgets, please welcome from WGU Washington, Chancellor Rich Cummins and graduate Misty Dieffenbach. It's good to have you both here.
Thank you so much.
Rich, tell us first of all why so many mid-career people are going back to either update their skills or change careers.
Well, you know, there was a report that was released several months ago from Georgetown University. About 11.5 million jobs were created in the American economy from 2010 to 2016, and only 80,000 of those jobs are currently occupied by individuals with a high school diploma or less. The economy has just dramatically changed.
It's demanding more of us.
It demands it. People need to have some kind of post-secondary experience, and WGU is a great option because we're affordable, but continuing some kind of education past high school is paramount importance.
Really important. And the thing that I think is beautiful about your program is that it gives us credit for what we already know so that we can move through the program in a more efficient way. Describe how you do that.
So, you know, the average working adult is time-bound, place-bound, and pace-bound. Time-bound because they have a job and kids and those kinds of things. Place-bound because they can't pick up and move to a college campus. And pace-bound because often they're asked to sit in a classroom for 10 to 15 weeks when they already know all kinds of things. So a competency-based approach gives the working adult credit for what they already know and allows them to proceed at their own pace. So an individual in WGU's framework could finish a degree much more quickly. The average time to a bachelor's degree is about 2.5 years, and when you take that shortened time frame along with the incredibly affordable pricing for WGU Washington, individuals can achieve
really quickly and without breaking the bank.
great debt.
Misty, tell us a bit about your experience with the school.
I went to a brick and mortar school before I went to WGU. I didn't finish there and transferred into WGU. And my experience with WGU was amazing. The mentor talked to me every week. I was able to accelerate through classes that I already knew what I was doing in. I had some office management experience, so a lot of writing experience, managing people, a little bit of exposure to business law, those types of things. So I was able to really buckle down and get some things done, and I moved through the rest of my bachelor's program really quickly as a result of that.
There's something really motivating about getting credit for what you know, right?
Yeah.
Let's move on. Let's move on to something that's new that you're really learning. What were you trying to achieve career-wise?
I knew that I wanted to work in human resources, so my bachelor's degree through WGU was in human resource management. So I thought, what a great opportunity to make a difference working with people. And then I kind of set my sights on working for schools because one thing we all have in common, no matter what we're doing, doctors, lawyers, everybody's been through K-12 education. So finding people that are really passionate about that kind of became what I set my sight on doing.
And so what has this advanced education done for you in your career?
Well, I wouldn't have been able to get the position that I got without going through WGU and getting my bachelor's and then my master's. So it's really opened a lot of doors for me and for my family.
And what are you doing now?
Right now I'm an assistant superintendent for a school district of human resources.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. If you'd stayed at the brick and mortar school, you probably, that's okay, yes, let's give her a round of applause for that. That's all the way through a master's degree, that's very impressive. If you'd stayed at the brick and mortar school, you probably couldn't have managed in the same way, correct?
No, I had 2 children at the time that I did my bachelor's program, and then when I finished my master's, I had a 3rd. So there's no way that I could have worked and supported my family and gone
So
to
what would you say to somebody else maybe who has young kids and they're, you know, thinking there's no way I can go back to school, I can't put that kind of time into it, I don't have that sort of flexibility. What would you say to them about this process?
You can. I think when you have young kids, that's a motivator to be able to do something that provides for them in the future.
Sure.
And if you keep putting it off, you're going to run out of the opportunity to be able to do that. But specifically with this model, where it is competency-based and you are able to go quickly, you aren't tied to certain time frames, it's possible. And you will find time. There's nap times, there's bedtimes, there's times they're at school. you can make it and you can do it as quickly as you want to
that
be able to move on.
speaks very well of you, but that is true. You have smaller chunks of time, but they add up to enough if you use them that way. So is the school nonprofit?
The school is nonprofit.
Tell me more.
Nonprofit, regionally accredited. We say it's high quality and low cost.
Yeah.
So for about $6,000 a year, that's 2 6-month semesters, $3,000 each. It's just about the most affordable way to get a higher education. So a lot of people look at the facts and say, yeah, I probably do need to get some further education, but I don't have $100,000 and I can't leave my home to go someplace else. You don't have to with WGU. Nonprofit, we haven't raised the tuition for 10 years, which is absolutely unheard of in higher education.
Yeah.
The commitment is to keep the quality as high as possible and the cost as low as possible for the student.
And so the affordability is important not only for people at mid-career, but maybe people who are just starting out to college to begin with. Can they come as well?
Oh, absolutely. So a typical running start student in Washington State, for instance, comes in as a junior, and if they take a year and a half, which would be a pretty good clip, that would be $9,000 for a bachelor's degree.
That would be a happy mom and dad somewhere.
Absolutely.
Having written those tuition checks.
Absolutely.
I would have been very, very happy to hear that news. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Good luck
thank
to
you.
you and congratulations. You worked hard. Worked hard for that. For more information about WGU Washington's degree programs, please visit the website there on your screen. You'll find additional links at New Day's homepage. It's really worth checking out. You can do it. Up next, we take a deeper look at the decision to end DACA and exactly what that means for those who had been protected under the Act, as well as the rest of us. We'll be right back.